Hello everyone, my name is Kate Decker and I am obsessed with exposing the truth of what happens when we ditch the autopilot, take our power back, and become the creators of our destiny. And I'm here to remind you that no matter who you are, where you come from, or what you've been through, you deserve to live the life of your dreams. Welcome to the Create Your Best Life Radio. Hey you guys, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to listen to this episode. It's honestly one of my realest, most vulnerable, even more than the previous episodes I have ever recorded. I highly suggest that you listen to at 1.5 speed because I didn't prepare this talk. I just was speaking from my heart and it was so powerful. I am talking there about spiraling and what to do, and breaking the rules, and the whole being multi-passionate, why we want the quick road to success, and all of that stuff. So without further ado, let's dive in. Hello you guys, welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited to talk to you today about spiraling and what to do and what not to do when you feel like you're heading down a rabbit hole and you cannot seem to get out of it, right? As a heads up, I am recording this podcast episode in my office, which doesn't have a carpet and has a tiny bit of an echo. But you know what? I thought to myself, I have listened to so many crappy audio quality podcasts in my life, and I still did it because I wanted to hear what it was about. So I just don't care for this episode because I want to record it and I don't want to let myself stop myself from all of this just because there might be a little bit of an echo. So yeah, there we go. We are diving right into it. Okay, you guys. So to give you a little bit of a context, this past, week was a freaking roller coaster. I had probably one of the biggest spirals I have ever experience, or at least in the last 5 years. And funnily enough, it was triggered by me recording the episode on turning 30 and all about my fears and vulnerabilities and all of that stuff. And quite frankly, I feel like this entire year of me, going through, as the human design junkies say, Saturn return right now, or as I say, turning 30 and going through this 29th year of my life before I turned 30, it's been all over the place. Honestly, there were so many times when I felt like I am probably going crazy because nothing made sense. I questioned myself like I never questioned myself. I shifted and changed and pivoted like so many things and so many times. And I legitimately thought, okay, I am done now. I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to go with the flow. Everything seems to be falling into place beautifully now that I came back after Bali. The universe thought. I was so not done with spiraling, and I don't know how many of these I'm going to experience before we actually get to 30. I'm hoping I'm done, but we're not here for me to complain, but I am here to share with you that I am human. And even though in this world, especially in, I don't want to say in the entrepreneurial world, but in this world that we are living in right now, we mostly want the perfect people, the quick fixes, the 1, 2, 3 step, I'm going to become a millionaire, the quick pill to have shredded abs. We want the easy things. And you know what? I totally get it, because sometimes it feels so freaking hard that of course we would rather take the easy route. Of course, we are rather going to invest into the person who's promising us the perfect future, the person who always looks polished and has her shit together and all of that stuff. But I do want to tell you that that's an illusion. Not everyone has their shit together. Actually, I believe no one has their shit together, and we all have ups and downs. We all have things that are easy and all have things that are hard. And there's no one magic formula to anything. Like, you just have to show up and do the work. Does it mean that it gets to be easeful and playful and fun? Of course. I am a huge, in promoting, like, things get to be easy, things get to be fun, like it gets to be playful. Even building my business was fun and easeful and playful, because we don't need to struggle more than it's necessary. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to have these human moments of doubt, of fears, of, self-judgment and all of that stuff. It just happens. It's part of the journey. And usually on the other side, there's greater clarity. There is greater quality. There's something that you realize that helps you to become even better version of yourself, to make more money, to be healthier, to be happier, if you use it correctly. So the first thing that I want to say, when you are going down a spiral, when you might be questioning your life choices or questioning your existence, here's what I'm going to say. Actually, before I say it, I'm going to give you the behind the scenes of kind of what happened. So you guys, I literally had 2-3 days when I felt like a complete and utter failure in my life. I felt like I haven't accomplished anything, that nothing matters, that I am a failure, that I'm a disappointment, that I just want to give up. And for the love of God, I just could not give up, you guys. I tried so hard to just go into complete, like, I don't give a damn. I'm just going to sit on this couch and eat chocolate and watch stupid TV shows, and I'm not going to give a shit, and I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be okay. I just could not do it. Like, I just could not do it. And I feel like if you're here, especially if you're here listening to this podcast episode, the chances are that you are in this exactly like me. As much as you would like to sometimes throw in the towel and just be like, I don't care, I'm not going to have any goals, I'm not going to have any aspirations, I'm just going to flow through life and just kind of sort of make it, you cannot do it even if you wanted to. Even when it feels the hardest, the heaviest, the scariest, the holy crap, how am I going to get out of this hole list? You just can't give up. And no, that is just so freaking powerful. So if you are in whatever, moment of you feeling like you suck, you're a failure, there's nothing to show for it, you may be turning 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, whatever it might be, and you might be feeling like you are not as far as you wanted to be, as you expected to be. I'm so sorry that it sucks right now in this moment. But the worst thing that you can do is to pretend that it's not there. It's to pretend that everything is going to be fine and dandy and okay. To try to power yourself through. To try to fix yourself. To try to just slap a band-aid of a positivity of like, no, what if this is going to work? Everything is going to work, when you don't feel it in your heart. That is the worst thing that you can do for yourself, because you are essentially bypassing your own feelings. And you may be slightly gaslighting yourself in that as well, because we need to acknowledge that you feel like a piece of human or animal crap. And yes, I'm going to be very blunt about this. Because when you are in the state of spiraling, of feeling not good, of judging yourself, comparing yourself, when you have this feeling that your chest is like literally closing onto you, and there is like a weird feeling in your stomach, and you maybe want to cry, or you want to scream, or you don't know what you want to do, you cannot ignore it and pretend that everything is going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine, but you don't feel it in that moment. So the number one thing that you need to do is to let yourself feel like crap for some time. And look at it. And face it. And let all of that mean talk come out. Now, I don't want you to be going out to people and telling them how big of a failure you are. That's not going to help. And no matter what they say, they're not going to help you. If they try to tell you that you're amazing, you're not going to listen. If they try to tell you that you actually are a failure, that's not going to help you. And if they try to do anything in between, it's just not going to help you in that moment. So the first thing we want to do is to honestly, in some way, shape, or form, get it out of our head. So I like to sometimes record myself voice memos, or I record podcast episodes like this, or I just journal it out and like literally write down what is that freaking mean, upset, spirally voice telling me. And I will just get it all off my chest, out of my brain somewhere until I feel like I am kind of sort of done. You may not feel completely done, but you might just feel like you're exhausted for now, so you're going to stop. But we want to get it out, and you don't need to necessarily look at it. You don't have to. But just get it off your chest so that it's not trapped in your head, in your brain, where it's just going on repeat and over and over and over and over again. The worst thing you can do is to either pretend that it's not there, and two, know that it's there and just leave it there. That's not what we are doing. That's not what's going to help you. It's going to make you just continuously feel miserable. So get it out. If you have a friend or a spouse that is willing to just hold space for you, and by that I mean they don't comment, you don't expect them to comment, and they're literally just a placeholder for you to have this conversation, that is the best thing that you can do. But you need to prep them by saying, hey, I feel a certain type of way, and I would love to get it off my chest. But one, I don't want any of your input, negative, positive, or anything in between. I just want you to sit here and hold space for me. And I want to double check, do you have the space for me so I can essentially word vomit on you? This is so important. Do not word vomit on other people if they don't have the capacity to hold space for you. And it's okay because it's not their responsibility. You can always talk to a mentor, coach, therapist, and any other professionals as well. But at the same time, that's something that it's not available to you right now. You can just get it out in your journal. And now that we got the thoughts out, I don't want you to be considering, is this true? Is this not true? Are you right? Are you not right? We are not doing that right now. We just needed to offload those thoughts so they are no longer spiraling in our head. And now we're going to actually address the feelings and the emotions. Just the feelings and the emotions, not in the connection to the words. So what I mean by that is that as you write down all the crappy things in your journal, you will still have this feeling in your chest of feeling like a piece of crap. I'm just gonna say it. You feel like crap, you don't feel good, you might feel desperate, you might feel hopeless, you might feel exhausted, you might feel just angry. Whatever is it that you're feeling, feel it. And don't think about why you feel that way. Just be there and focus inside of your body. Where do you feel that emotion? Is it in your chest? Is it in your belly? Do you feel almost like this electrical charge in your hands? Or is it like this buzzing energy? What is the expression of this emotion? And then let it be expressed. If you feel charge or energy in your fists, go punch them. You can punch the air, you can punch pillows, you can go boxing, move that energy through. If you feel like there's just overall buzzing energy in your body, jump up and down. If you have a trampoline or you can jump on the bed, please do so carefully. But jump up and down, get it out. Shake your body, dance or stomp Oh my gosh, if you're angry, stomping is so freaking powerful. Get your fluffiest shoes on and just freaking stomp on the floor, right? Or go for a little walk if that helps, like a power walk, right? Or if you feel like you want to cry, cry. If you're feeling just sadness, just be there and breathe. Place your hand on your chest or wherever you feel that emotion and be with it. Be with that discomfort. Just be. And I know that the moment of you starting to be with that emotion feels like the most uncomfortable moment of them all. And you might feel like, you might remember, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I need to go put the laundry in. Or I need to turn on a dryer. Or, like all kinds of distractions. Or from all of a sudden, like your body starts being itchy. Or you start having like a pain. Or you realize you're actually hungry. All of these are distractions. And we have grown accustomed to ignore our emotions and their expressions and let ourselves be easily distracted by these piled up, away from all these piled up emotions, right? So I challenge you to be there. It's not going to take long. It's probably just going to be a few moments, honestly, before that already starts transforming and shifting. And it's going to feel incredibly relieving. If you've never done it, especially, it's going to be feeling like no other. But be there with it. And if you're feeling it right now, just pause this for a moment and be with that feeling. Do not think about why you're feeling that way. Do not think about what you wrote in that journal. That doesn't matter for right now. Just be. And as you will feel that emotion in just few moments, few minutes, or tops few hours, you will start that emotion untangling. It's going to start shifting, changing, swirling around. It's going to be different because energy cannot be, created nor destroyed. It can be transmuted. It can be shifted. And our emotions are energy in motion. So when we actually be with that emotion and we observe it, it transforms, right? Also the observer effect, if you've ever heard of it, we will see what we want to see, and what we observe, is going to change based on what we're looking for. But if you're just being with that emotion, it's going to transform. It's going to start shifting and changing. Once you start feeling lighter, that is the first moment when you can start considering, okay, so now what? What do I want to take out of this? Who do I want to be? How do I want to approach this? And what do you want? So I literally sat down at the airport. It was right before we were traveling to Washington. And I wrote down a note to myself of like, what is it? What is what's going on? What do I want? What do I feel? And the biggest thing was, literally, this is the first sentence that I'm reading from the note, said, I guess I just want to feel proud of myself. Like I did good things to be proud of. Things that if they were listed in a book, someone would go, oh wow. Or maybe I would go, oh wow, right? And that's, even though it may feel so generic, you will know what that means to you. And then I started exploring, like, what does it really mean to be proud of me? How would it look like? What does it mean? What do I want, right? Where am I maybe frustrated and where am I happy? What are the things that are happening in my life? And, the biggest thing I realized through the spiral was that it's honestly in business, some of the things that are really hard is that it's really hard to measure your success, because money is good milestone until it isn't anymore. Money is a measurable milestone until it doesn't matter anymore, because other things are so much more important. Money is so important and can be the number one important thing when you don't have enough of it. But when you do have money, all of these other things are going to come up to the surface and they're going to haunt you if you don't address them. So the thing for me that really came up was I want to have measurable successes beyond just money. I want to play bigger in my business, in my life. I am so proud of, all of the things that I've accomplished. Like, heck, there are not so many people who created multiple six-figure business the second year in their business. There are not so many people who have had 10K, 20K, 30K cash months before they're 30, right? There are not so many people who create their business from scratch. There's so many things that I'm proud of. And especially in the way that I created it, oh my goodness. But also at the same time, I know that my potential is so much higher. And yet, to me, when I look back at this, it feels like I've been playing so freaking small, right? And the thing is, we all have different capacities, different priorities, different things that we want to achieve in our lives, and different ideas of what's big or small. Honestly, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters what you're doing, as long as it feels like this is big for me. I feel so proud, right? But when you really face yourself and you realize, crap, I've been underplaying this. I want so much more. I want more measurable successes, and I just kind of ditched them out of fear or because I got sidetracked and distracted, let myself be distracted, then you know it, right? And the things that came up for me were, do I actually want to go back to school? Because I didn't actually finish college, because when I was back in Czech, I was already making so much money in my previous work, and the degree that I was studying was completely useless at that point. They changed things up and I didn't like it, and it just didn't make sense. And college works a little bit differently in Czech than it does in the US. And also it's free, so I probably did in some way take it for granted that I can do it at any point. And then when I moved to the US and I ended up marrying Zach, I decided to not go to school because honestly I was scared that I couldn't do it. I was scared that I couldn't do it, that I didn't speak English well enough, that it would be hard for me to get in. And then how the heck was I gonna do school when my then husband is going to be moving around and there's gonna be so much uncertainty in our lives, like in terms of location. It just felt so hard, so overwhelming. So instead, I focused on creating my own business. And thanks goodness for that, because I'm so happy that that's what I did. But now that thing came up back again. Do I want to go back to school? Is that something that I want to pursue now that I am not afraid to play bigger, right? I always loved school, you guys. I always loved school. The next thing that completely shocked me was, do I want to also get a quote-unquote regular job on the side? I've actually never had a regular job. Is that something that I want to be part of my experience? Which is so wild. And I do want to say, if I choose to do it, it's going to be because I want to have more experience, because I love experimenting with every freaking thing. And it would not mean stepping away from business, because I love my business and I'm so proud of what I'm creating. And there's more to be created, which I'm going to say just in a moment. But it was actually honestly something that totally shook me, because again, the reason why I never actually went to find a quote unquote regular job was because I was afraid of the interview process. I felt like I didn't have any credentials. I was afraid that I could never do it, that it's essentially that I would turn out to be a failure, and it was easier to be quote unquote hiding on social media. Right? How freaking wild. So this brutal honesty just started like rolling out and rolling through. And you guys, I feel so scared to be sharing this with you, because these are my like inner deepest thoughts that are coming up to the surface. But it's so important to face these things, because when we face them, that's the only time when we can then realize, do I want to go this route or do I not? Right? The next thing that came up was actually with my business. I realized that I do want to be published in like magazines and Forbes and all these things. And I do want to have a #1 podcast, and I do want to have a big, YouTube channel, and I want to have what else? Like, it's just like all of these things that started coming up that I want to have and achieve. Oh, and I want to be sponsored by different brands. Like, that's something that I want to have part of my business experience, and I want to develop products, and I'm not going to share what kind of products just yet, for business purposes, obviously, but there were just like so many things that came up, making me realize, holy guacamole, I totally put blinders on, because I was like, no, I'm just gonna do this. This feels somewhat easy. This feels like I can do this. I'm good at this. So I'm not gonna admit to myself that I want more, or that I want to actually speak on stages, right? Or I don't even know what else was there. I have a list. But the thing is that I just that I want to be a best-selling author, and I actually want to publish a book. I don't want to self-publish. I want to publish with a publisher. So all of these things started coming up that they were on my sort of a vision board at some point, but I totally pushed them away, whether that was out of fear, whether that was out of fear of disappointment, of incompetency, of who am I to think that I could do that? Or even out of, well, no one else is doing it, so like, I don't know if I could even do it, right? Like, all of this stuff was hidden, and that's where that frustration and the spiraling just finally built up to be like, hello, Kate, we are here, and we are ready for you to freaking go for it, because you can, because you have done so much in your life. So let's roll, right? And the other day I posted on Instagram, there was a reel about how the dreams that you don't chase, they're going to chase you, they're going to haunt you. And that's exactly what was happening in that moment of a spiral. So every single spiral that is happening, there is a reason, there's a good reason for it. That doesn't mean we need to slap on fake positivity and pretend everything is fine. No, we need to go through it. The only way through is through. The only way to get on the other side of it is go through it. There will be wisdom, there will be clarity, there will be new surprises waiting up on you. And you might not know all the answers right away. You guys, I don't know just yet if I want to go to school, but I am researching how would I do it, what would I study, where would I go, how would I pay for it, all of that stuff. I don't know if I want to get regular job on the side of it, because I'm researching it, right? Like, I'm starting to update my LinkedIn. I am asking my friend to help me with like a resume, because I want to experiment. I don't want to, honestly, this is the thing that I feel the most scared to share, because I have built a name in my business. I have created a multiple six-figure business, and there is such a stigma about having a job in the online industry, because especially if you don't make it and you get a job, then you're giving up. If you make it and you're getting a job, you are a fraud, right? Like, it's very judgmental a lot of times. And I really want to break that up, because you can do whatever the heck you want to do. And the fears of judgments, of what would other people think, they cannot stop us. And I'm not going to be the person who's going to be stopped by, what would other people think? I care, but I don't care. I care to the point that if someone close to me is offering me feedback, constructive feedback, something that would be helpful to me because they know me very, very well, I'm going to consider it. But if there's someone on the other side of the internet feeling some type of way about me, then I don't freaking care, because most likely they're just afraid to do what I'm doing. To do whatever the heck I want, right? I'm such a multi-passionate person, you guys. Like, honestly, I've been considering starting also like a party business. I don't know what to call it. Like, I would be creating essentially like hosting parties for people, like helping to host parties, right? Like a party planner. That's what I was looking for, because that's something that I loved and I always wanted to do. And I feel like coming up to 30 is just realizing for me how many passions I have and how many I put on the sidelines out of fear or fear of judgment or fear of disappointment. And those are not good enough reasons for me anymore. And the most important thing that I want to say with all of this is you always get to freaking pivot and no one has to care why. This is your life and you get to do and be and live it however you freaking want to. So at the end, on the other side of every spiral, if you are up for it, there is going to be so much more clarity, so much more goodness on the other side of it. And another thing that I actually decided through this clarity was that I do want to be truly the voice of the real stuff. I want to be that person who speaks up the thoughts that other people are thinking but not saying. I want to be the person who's sharing vulnerably her fears or the things that could be pulled apart or maybe judged to help those people who this is helping. Yeah, right? I want to be the person who's taking a stance in the industry, especially since I have a platform, especially since I have a voice, especially since I am here and you guys are here. If you are the only person that this is going to help, I am going to be there. I'm going to say it. So, at the end of my spiral, I feel honestly more motivated and more buzzed for everything and excited for everything than ever. Literally, Zach and I last night, we couldn't go to sleep. We had so much energy and so much excitement. We had so much fun researching colleges and looking at different things that I could do and how we could use it also in my business and expanding that business. Because you know what? I'm not here to do just one thing. I'm not here to have just one business or just one side of the business. That was good maybe before 30, but that's not gonna fly, especially after I turn 30. That's not what I'm here for, right? And I had so much fun updating my LinkedIn and kind of looking at those, like all of the things and all of the skills that I have. And I was shocked, you guys. I was writing down all of the things that I did in the past, 7 or so years, maybe 10, and I was so shocked, like how many skills, how many things, how many, different roles I had, especially in my business. And I was impressed by myself. And if coming out of the spiral, the result is that I feel so impressed by myself, that I feel so proud of myself, that I'm so excited for the future, that I'm so inspired to do so many things that I literally had to bring up like a big piece of paper and write it all down in all these different directions that I want to go all at the same time, then that's a freaking good spiral. Are all of them going to be easy? I don't know. But I know that if you face it, and if you do the things that I told you to do, there's going to be something on the other side. What if there is a good reason for this spiral? We do learn a lot through clarity, and clarity is in comfort. So, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that now you know what to do on your next spiral if it happens. I hope that this gave you a huge permission slip to literally go do whatever you want to do. Go have big goals and pursue them. And you can pursue so many of them all at the same time if you want to. Sure, it's good to take it one step at a time and one thing at a time so that you don't go crazy, so that you can get good at what you're doing. But once you're, good or somewhat there with one thing, feel free to add on another one. Who the heck cares if that's something that's calling your soul, that's calling your name? And if one of the things is creating your business and creating a successful business, successful brand, and you want to create it in a way that's fun, that's playful, that's easeful, that you could literally have a full-time job on the side of it, then the FUNtastic Business Academy is honestly the place to be. The FUNtastic Business Academy is my signature business program where we combine the practical savvy strategies, because you've got to know what to do in your business. Otherwise, you're going to overdig. Otherwise, you're going to literally procrastinate. Otherwise, you're going to be confused and overwhelmed and tired and exhausted. And you will find yourself at the end of the day being like, I worked all day, but I didn't get anything accomplished. So you need to know what to do. And then it's a combination of the rock solid energetics, meaning we will dive into your human design and the unique qualities that you have that are natural and innate to you. We're going to pull them up to the surface so that you can actually be paid for your own genius. So it's going to be a combination of practical business strategies and rock solid energetics in combination with your human design. Obviously, I'm going to teach you how to embody that big CEO mindset, because if you don't have that, if you feel like you're just kind of playing around in the we'll see if this is going to work, then it's not going to work. We need to step into that big CEO role in order for you to succeed. So there's going to be subconscious programming, there's going to be conscious programming, there's going to be all that stuff, so that you come out of the other side being that six-figure CEO. So the structure of it is that you are getting both a program and a mastermind. It's 6 months together when you are learning the things. So we are learning the marketing, the selling, the content writing, the whatever else you need for a business, social media, right? Program creation, all of that stuff. Pricing, because that's usually a favorite topic, right? We're learning all of that stuff. There's going to be live and pre-recorded modules. And then every other week, we're going to have mastermind-like sessions, meaning we will hop on a Zoom call and I will coach you directly from where you are at. Because this is one of the things that I saw missing in the industry, where people are either spending thousands and thousands of dollars on learning skills and learning things, which is amazing and important, but then they didn't know how to actually apply it to their own business, to their own situation and circumstances and where they're at. Or B, people were spending thousands and thousands and even more money on working with coaches 101 or being in masterminds, but then they had no knowledge. They knew nothing. So they spent all of these sessions just learning what to do. So what we're doing here is we're combining both. You're going to learn what to do in the coursework, and we're going to integrate it and apply it specifically to your circumstances, to your business, to your vision. And we're going to work through all of the limitations and blocks and fears and things that are stopping you or holding you back in real time every other week. Not to mention, there's going to be additional Q&As. There's going to be some guest speakers. We're going to have so much fun, and you do get lifetime access. So it's 6 months, you guys. If you are intrigued, if you want to be a six-figure CEO with fun and ease and play, then obviously check out the show notes, or you can always message me at xokdecker and figure out if we're enrolling. At the time of the recording of this episode, we do have an enrollment period going. The early bird is on until October 31st. And then we are going to be enrolling our regular enrollment until, I believe, November 16th. So hit me up. Let's do it. I'm so excited for you to have fun in your business. And literally, the sky isn't even the limit, as my husband always says. And he knows that stuff, because not only he flies, but he has a freaking degree in space, to call it simply, astro engineering from MIT. So he knows his stuff. So when he says the sky isn't even the limit, he is right. So I hope that you loved this episode. If you did, please let me know. Take a screenshot. tag me on Instagram at xokdecker, or if you haven't yet, if you would give me a 5-star review, it will mean the world to me, so I can keep these episodes coming. And also you can obviously always hit me up with other episodes and other themes and topics that you would like me to talk about here over on the podcast, or obviously even on my YouTube channel or Instagram. I love you guys, and I will talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved it, please let me know by leaving a short review here on the podcast app, and take a screenshot of the episode and tag me on your Instagram stories at xokdecker so that I can keep your favorite topics coming. And until next time, let's create your best life.